men's national team in that conversation, how going over to Europe and continuing to get our young players over there to develop is going to impact our national team. So that leads us into our next conversation. Where does the U.S. men's national team fall in terms of ESPN's rankings of the top 25 best and worst manager jobs for clubs and national teams? Ryan, I wanted to get your opinion on some of these
separate,
ones.
Or are they all as one?
They're all as one. So they're both
That's a
clubs,
stupid list, ESPN.
clubs and national teams in there.
That's a stupid list, ESPN. Stupid.
You know,
you can't have both.
I haven't even read off the first one yet.
No, no. It's a stupid list, ESPN, because they're two different jobs. You can't have. They have to be separate. It's like having a college. It's like ranking NFL jobs and college jobs as the same thing. You can't have that. So ESPN, be better, because the international jobs, you only get so much time to actually impress people. Whereas a club is a totally different story. So ESPN, be better, please.
So let me ask you this: can you be a manager of a club side and a national side at the same exact time?
I'm sure you probably can, but it'd be stupid.
So therefore,
it'd be stupid.
If you're managing a national side, it would be stupid to manage a club side at the same exact time. I don't think.
Yeah,
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'd be done. Yeah. Okay. So you would have to choose between the two then, right? Like, let's say like France wanted you to be their national team head coach, and Man City was like, hey, come be, or not head coach, manager. And Man City was like, hey, come be our guy. You would have to choose between the two, right? So yeah, I'm sure you could list them separately on a list, right?
Bro, no, I don't care about FIFA. I'm trying to search it up, but it just keeps giving me FIFA. No, I don't think any manager manages both, but no, you would choose both. It's what do you want? Do you want to not really have to work 12 months out of the year, but like you don't really get a say in, who's in the squad, like how to improve the squad? That's really up to your discretion, like, or do you want to, play or manage week in, week out, manage all these different situations, but you get to improve the job, you get to improve your squad, every few months. That's up to you to decide. But no, you would not. I don't think you can manage both. Even like I'm sure you can accept an international job as a club manager and vice versa. But no, I don't think most managers don't do that. It'd be stupid to do that. It's not like American. It's not like basketball or hockey where like you only play once every 4 years or once every 2 years in a summer. No, like these are people's full-time jobs. No, I don't think you can do both.
Yeah, no, I agree. And with them playing at mostly, well, sometimes at the same time, but also you're right. I mean, the weight of expectations and managing personalities and everything that goes into that. Of course, you couldn't do both, but just wanted to get your opinion on some of these on this list. So I do think it is interesting. They're two different styles of jobs, but all I know is that they combined both in this list and ranked them. Yeah. So anyways, number one on the list is Man City for obvious reasons. Pep Guardiola has been the manager for nearly 10 years, so nearly a decade. He makes a ton of money. That's
119.
Sure.
119.
Yeah.
Sorry. 119.
He has one of the deepest and most talented squads in the world, but yeah, they put Man City number one on this list.
I don't think. See, the Man City job, it depends what happens after Pep leaves because you have the 119 financial fair play charges. So I don't know how much longer this job would be on the list because of that exact reason. Right now, I wouldn't even say it's number one because of the financial fair play charges that are currently going on right now. You can't say the number one job in the world has 119 financial fair play charges that are currently ongoing, and there's an investigation on your club at the specific moment in time. You cannot say that's the number one job. ESPN, already a horrible list. They're already 0 for 2.
Yeah. Well, so not only that will be hanging over your head, but obviously they won't have the courtesy of the amount of patience that, I'm sure would be given in other places because of what Pep has already done with Man City. So they're great. But there are a lot of things that would hang over your head. And we all know the next guy would probably be the one to deal with that once that bubble actually bursts. Number 2 on the list. I think you'll appreciate this one. Arsenal is number 2 on the list. ESPN says it's a similar situation to the City job minus the quandaries that come with getting paid by a sovereign nation. Much like City, though, the next Arsenal manager probably won't get the same patience and power as Arteta does. But how do you feel about Arsenal being number 2 on that list in terms of managerial spots?
Well, if Stan was running things, I would say no. This is not a top 10 job. But with Josh
Mhm.
running things, I would say yes. I would say yes because of the patience that they've given Arteta in his tenure so far. I mean, this guy was close to getting relegated for a couple of months there and still kept his job somehow. But no, they've shown to invest in the squad. They've shown to invest in the academy, and you have a really good academy that produces a player in your squad rotation at least once a year. So you have that going on. You have good financial backing. It's a big club. You're playing in front of 60,000 plus every home game, and you're in everything. Yeah, I would honestly say the Arsenal job is probably better than Man City job simply because you get the patience and you don't have the financial fair play charges looming over you. I mean, that's kind of a big thing. But no, I
Yeah.
think Arsenal's a 100% a very very good job, but I think the patience, from Josh is a very very important thing.
I'll just read off number 3, and then we can get into. I'll just quickly wrap up the top 5, and then we can get into where the U.S. men's national team is. Also, Man United on this list as well, towards the top. But Atletico Madrid is actually number 3 on this list.
Yeah, that's very
It's funny.
Arsenal like. It's a lot of patience,
Yeah,
a lot of
it,
financial backing, a lot of patience. I mean, Simeone's been
yeah,
there for years. Like
and you don't have the same weight of expectations as managing a place like Real Madrid. So
no, it's
you get the money, you get the resources, but you don't get the expectations on top of
it's
it.
like a it's like a Michigan in a way. Over like Real Madrid, if you picture that as Ohio State,
Yeah.
Atletico would be like Michigan. Like
Hmm.
yeah, there's a lot, there's expectation on you, like, but it's not as crazy as expectations of you have to win the Champions League and the Premier League or a national championship every single year. You kind of have to,
Right.
win a couple big games, be in the conversation, but as long as you're in the conversation and you're there, it's fine. And Simeone's been there forever. So he's won a Premier or not a Premier League, a La Liga title at least once
Hmm.
when Luis Suarez was there. So yeah, no, I could see Atletico being number 3. I could see that. It's all about the patience, and that's why Arsenal and Atletico are so
Yeah.
high up. And I'd honestly put Atletico over Man City too because of the patience and the financial fair play. Man City should be
Yeah.
outside the top 10 at this point.
But it is mentioned at the end that Apollo Global Capital, private equity firm with around 900 billion in assets, bought the club in November. So there's a sneaking suspicion that they could be the ones to really start taking over decision making for the club. And that could obviously go one of two ways. That could go really well, or that could go really south, depending. So that is something that could certainly change. Obviously, it's only been since November, so there's a lot to be decided there. Number 4 and number 5 are two national sides, France and England, the two most talented
Oh
national teams in the
no,
world.
no,
It's hard to see that changing
England
anytime
shouldn't be in
soon.
this.
This, according
No,
to ESPN. You don't believe England's in the top 5?
no, because their fans are nut jobs. And even when you make a semifinal, they're pissed. No,
Yeah.
England should
Well,
not be a
yeah,
top 10 job. Like Southgate has only done good for them. He's gotten them to a Euros final. He's gotten them to semifinals
yeah.
twice in the World Cup. Yet they hated him. No, the England job is probably
Mm.
one of the worst jobs to have in international
But
play. And then you hire Thomas Tuchel, who's a German, and they hate that too. So no, the England
yeah.
job is horrible. Don't even have again
Well,
ESPN. What are we doing here? This
well,
list
what
sucks.
from an individual talent perspective, though, like what you
Sure.
have available to you on the pitch. Okay, no, I'm just
No,
asking
even
questions.
even no, because then you're even criticized for playing X player over this player because of, well, he
Well,
did
yeah,
this for his club.
yeah,
No, the England job is just, I
yeah.
wouldn't want to touch that. Would never want to touch that job because you could play Bukayo Saka as a right
Yeah.
winger and he might suck for 30 minutes and everyone's saying, well, why didn't you play Madueke? Why didn't you play, well, not Raheem Sterling anymore? Why didn't you play Cole Palmer? Why didn't you play this? Yeah, no, England job sucks. Never manage England.
So
France,
so
France, yeah, I can see
so
France. France is actually a good job.
okay, so you would take France over
Yeah,
England. I got
Deschamps been
two
there for a
others in
while.
the top 10. Two other in the top 10. Let's see if you would take either of these two over England. I'd love to see what your re-rank of this list is, but how about Spain? Would you manage Spain over England?
Hell yeah, I would.
All
I'd
right. Okay.
100% manage Spain because The talent is so good over there as well. I think it's
All right.
arguably, if not better than English talent. I think there's a big English bias in the world of soccer. Just saying. But no, I would take the Spain job because of everything in the backing that you have, and they don't complain every 2 seconds about, you didn't play this player over this player. And you know what the funny thing is Spain actually wins things. I've seen them win 2 Euros and a World Cup. So I would take the Spain job over the England job. I would
And
not take it over the France job because I think they're a little bit. It's hard to argue. No, I would take the Spain job over England for sure.
well, you have Lamine Yamal and maybe 15 more years of high level play from your Mr. Do It All
Yeah, we'll
superstar.
see how long they
So
last though.
yeah, I mean, but that's something to like about Spain. What about Argentina? Would you take Argentina over Spain, France, or England?
Is this right
Without
now?
Messi, let's take Messi. Let's take Messi out of the equation.
Oh no, if Messi's out of the equation, no, because a
So right
lot of
now,
that
if they had
team,
Messi, you would go that way.
if there's Messi still there, if I'm managing one more World Cup and Messi's still there, yes. But once he retires, no, because that whole team is mesmerized by Messi. Like that whole starting 11 and subs are like we have to follow Messi. They're not even following the manager. I forgot even who the manager's name. I know what he looks like, but no, I wouldn't. I don't think, and especially their nut jobs over there too. But no, I wouldn't because the Argentina Football Association was like a mess like 6 years
Yeah.
ago after 2018. So no, I would not want to take the Argentina job. I would rank France and Spain over. I would take Argentina over England. Like England is the least soccer job I'd want, especially international wise. But no, I would take the Argentina job. But with
Okay.
Messi, it has to. But once Messi leaves, you got to restructure everything and find out what your identity is because that whole identity of
Yeah.
that team right now is Messi. That's the whole identity.
Yeah. And like, how steep is the drop off after that? Anyways, getting into the rest of the list, Portugal is number 11. They got Germany and Bayern Munich tied at 12th. Brazil, and then Barcelona wraps up the top 15 in that list.
What's the top
Italy,
10? We just skipped over like the rest of the top 10. Read the top 10.
all right, so we got Atletico Madrid at 3. Obviously, it said France and England at 4 and 5. Paris Saint Germain, is
Paris
that how
Saint
you
Germain,
pronounce it?
PSG.
Germain, PSG. Real Madrid, Liverpool is at 8. And then obviously Spain and Argentina at 9 and 10.
So the PSG job, I would I would take that job as long as I had no superstars on the team. Like the moment you put superstars on that team, everything goes to shit. But once you get rid of them,
Yeah.
everything goes well. And you're playing in League 1, so there's no real competition in France. But if you lose it, you're fired. Not pretty much. But like your only competition is
Yeah.
truly in the Champions League if you're PSG. Yeah, there's some expectation, but it's it's like Clemson in the ACC when they were good with Dabo Sweeney. Like, yeah, you're
Yeah.
most likely going to win it, but if you lose it, you're kind of you're almost fired, and everyone gets mad at you. But at the same time,
Hmm.
there's not a ton of competition, and your play is so much better than everyone else's. I could see the
Yeah.
PSG one, the Real Madrid job. I would not touch. It's the same as the England job. I would never touch that. The Liverpool job is interesting because well, the Fenway Group just sold something massive recently, so they're putting more money into the Liverpool job. I mean, you're given 500 million, and even when you spend 550 million on a squad, and you are nowhere near expectations, you still have a job. And I would come back. I'd say the jury is still out on Liverpool, and it depends what
Yeah.
happens with Arne Slot after this season. If he's still there, yes, I would take the Liverpool job. But if he's gone,
Yep.
no, I wouldn't take it as much. But yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
The Portugal job, Jace. Oh yeah, the Portugal job. Yeah, now that Ronaldo's out of the photo, yeah, I would take that because
Hey,
Portugal.
hey,
If the Argentina job turns into what Portugal is now, so after your superstar, greatest player of all time leaves, and this is what it turns into, then yes, because Portugal still has some really good talent on the horizons and currently on their senior team. So I would say yes to the Portugal job.
um, I know that you have vehemently disagreed with this list for the most part, but I do think you'll agree with this write up, and this is really funny for me, ESPN. But quote, having to manage Cristiano Ronaldo right now would be a quote nightmare.
Yeah,
You basically have to find a way to convince one of the most famous and powerful athletes to ever live that he needs to come off the bench and he can't play 90 minutes every game. And if you don't do that, which you
You
won't, and
hurt
they
your
even
team.
mentioned that in here, you have to find a way to build your team around a mostly immobile 41-year-old striker who
Yeah.
still takes bad shots and does
No,
obviously
that's
zero
that's
defending.
accurate.
So
That's accurate.
so I
That's
think that's probably why Portugal found themselves outside of the top 10. It's still Portugal. You're not, I mean, you have quite a bit of talented players, but Ronaldo still thinks he's Ronaldo from a decade ago,
Yeah, I
which
know he is.
obviously
He's got
he's
a
not.
massive ego. But for the Germany Bayern Munich
Yeah.
job, it's essentially the same thing, but the Germany job is harder because Bayern, you basically run the Bundesliga, good academy system. You can buy everybody in the Bundesliga that's, good outside of Florian Wirtz who
Yep.
went to Liverpool, but I would take the Bayern job over the Germany job simply because you win everything in Germany without even, taking a sweat. So, yeah,
Yep.
no. I
Yep.
take that.
Looking at a few more international sides. So number 17 on this list, and I'm just going to pick and choose the rest of the way. Number 17 is Italy. And I love their reasoning for it. They go, I'd say this is more of a quote, it can't get any worse, unquote, type of gig. And I would have to agree with you. Like, they have regressed so much since their World Cup in 2006 that truth is that you might just improve just based off of just sheer dumb luck. If you're just in the right position and you just end up going on a hot streak, well, then good, because that's something that Italy desperately needs. Now, they can still get into the World Cup, but I don't know, they've just fallen so far since '06. I mean, I remember when I was really young, like Italy, like watching them play in the World Cup, I felt like they were one of the best nations in the world in the sport, at least national sides, but I feel like they've fallen off a lot. So Italy would be an interesting one. I don't know. Yeah, I would. You talk about the fans being tough on you. Yeah,
So,
Italy
since
would not want to
2006,
be the place to be.
early exit in 2010 out in the group stage. 2012, you
Yeah,
lose in the Euro finals, got killed. Then you have 2014. I know they lost in the knockouts. 2018 and 2022 didn't qualify, but they won 2020 or 2021 because of COVID. But you won that in the Euros. I'd still take it over England. I'd take any international job over England. No, I don't mind it being. Where's it ranked though? Where's it ranked on the list?
17th.
17.
So it's in terms of
What are the
national
other what are
sides.
the other international jobs? What are the other
So Brazil is at 14.
Okay.
Germany is at 12, and then obviously Portugal 11, Argentina 10, Spain 9, France and England are all
Is
in
there
front of them.
anyone after Italy?
The United States. The
Okay.
United States at 19. And we'll talk about that here in a moment. And then Mexico at number 25.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch
on
the
that
Mexico
list.
job either.
Yeah, me neither.
Italy. I think you're right. I think if anything, you're going to improve. Like whatever you do, you're most likely going to be an improvement to the team, or in the national team. Like there's still good Italian talent all over the place, but I mean, it's more of a you got to restructure that thing from from a national standpoint of you got to restructure all of Italian football, soccer, whatever it is. You want to restructure all of that. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's definitely still tempting. It's still tempting.
Yeah. Actually, so while we're at it, let's take a break. Let's come back. I want to wrap up this conversation on the